This is activity 2.6 on page 79, aligning text using tabs. We have my fact sheet formatting still open. You have more tabbed text that you want to format as columns like you did for the list of acceptable items. However, this list has not 2 but 3 columns. Also, 2 of the columns contain decimal numbers, and you want the numbers to align at their decimal points. You will use tab stops to handle these formatting challenges. So it shows the before, what we're starting with, and the after of what we want our final product to look like. Number 1, examine the formatting problem in some tab text. Scroll to the middle of page 1, where you can view the lines containing percentages beneath the need. So we want this section here. We want to make sure paragraph marks are showing. While tab characters are already in place, you can see this is actually a tab character here. It's just so tight between them. Here's a tab. Here's another extra tab at the end. There's a tab. There's a tab there. One here. So it already has the tabs in place. We just need to make the tab stops. Number 2, calculate where to place the first tab stop. Find the widest region name in the first column. So we have downtown in 12th Ward comes to about here, Western King County, Eastern King County, then we have Northern King County in 4th Ward, which ends about here. So you can see that's ending about the 2.5-inch mark. So Northern King County in 4th Ward is the widest. This text extends almost to the 2.5-inch mark on the ruler. You'll need to start your first tab stop past this point to specify where the second column should begin. So the 3.5-inch mark will be a good place for it. Number 3, we're going to set the tab stops for the numbers. At the intersection of the horizontal and vertical rulers, select the tab selector several times and observe how the tab type changes each time you select it. Stop when the decimal tab is selected as shown. So here's our selector. Right now it's set to a left tab. If I click on it, you can see it changes to a center tab. Click again. Here we have our right tab. Hit it again. And now we have our decimal tab, which is what we want. We're going to select our text from downtown in 12th Ward down to Northern King County in 4th Ward. So we don't want to select our headings right now. We're going to align those separately. On our horizontal ruler, we're going to select the 3.5-inch mark to place a decimal tab at that location. So I just have to click right on the ruler because I already have my tab stop selected. Click on 3.5 and it's going to place that decimal stop there for me. And the tabs were already input here, so it will automatically move them over and align at the decimal place for us. So the first column of numbers now aligns at 3.5 inches. Because you used a decimal tab, the numbers align at their decimal points and the list already looks much better. Now on the horizontal ruler, we're going to also select the 5-inch mark. So wherever the next tab is, it's going to push that text to align their decimal places at the 5-inch mark, which it does for that third column. You see the decimal places lining up right at 5 inches. So the second column of numbers is now aligned at their decimal points. Number 4, use centering tab stops to align the headings. Select the tab selector until a centering tab stop is shown. We're going to have to click this a few times. So here's our left and here's our center. All right. Now we want to select our heading row. So that's the line starting with region. On the horizontal ruler, we're going to select the 3.5-inch mark, and notice that my tab stops are not there anymore because I have different text that's selected, so it's cleared out. So 3.5-inch, we're going to set a center tab stop. That centers the increase in need heading because that's the first text after our first tab in that line. And we're also going to do the 5-inch mark again. And it says to drag the centering tab stops to the left or right until you are satisfied with their alignment. Because these are lined up at their decimal places, when the text is centered, it may not look that centered. You can see increase in funding. Looks like it's kind of too far to the left. So I can click and drag this tab stop and just kind of eyeball it until I feel like it centers above those numbers correctly. I can do the same for increase in need if I want to. All right, so it doesn't have to be precisely where you had it. You can drag and move them to make it look better. Lastly, number 5 says to remove the extra tab. So you can see in your heading row, they added an extra tab at the end of increase in funding. That is not needed. Just put your cursor and you can delete that. All right, then we're going to go up to our quick access toolbar and save our changes, and we will leave this document open for our next video.